Welcome back to the RIPPY Effect. I'm Jackie Hunter, your host, and I am going to be sharing with you a friend. His name is Michael Albert, and he is an industrial engineer. And I had not realized that industrial engineers are people who manage companies. They make sure that there is profit. And engineers, there's so many different kinds of engineers. So that's a career that you might want to consider. I have in front of me a microscope. And it's something that I really enjoy using. And if you're setting up a space in your home to encourage your young child, say elementary or middle school, to get an interest in science, having a microscope is a lot of fun because they can look at pond water, hair, and a lot of different things, and might get some ideas, might even make them want to become a scientist. Here's something that I found at the Science Museum, and later on you'll get a chance to see a tour of the Science Museum. This is called Kids Lab, and it's very interesting. My grandson worked on this for hours, and let me show you what happens when you get it to work properly. The fingers actually move. I don't know if you can see that, but they actually move. So going to the Science Museum and purchasing items for your children, that's another way of nourishing the scientists in your child. Now here is a circuit board kit. It has all of those things in it. Let me show you something. Lots of wires. They can connect those wires together to create a complete circuit. And it has lots of experiments to keep young minds busy. So that is really, really special. Some other things that you might want to have in your home are magnets. They're a lot of fun for children to play with. And another thing that I found at the Science Museum were beautiful rocks. It'll be nice to have your child look at those rocks and do some research and try to figure out what kind of rock they're looking at. All of those things can help nourish their interest in science. And so, let's see what else I have here. Now this, I am going to be playing with myself because I really enjoy this idea. I know that some places have, some museums and some libraries have what they call maker spaces, where they have materials set up and young people can go in and make something. And so one thing that I really like is breaker spaces, because in a breaker space, that doesn't mean you get a hammer out and break things apart, but in a breaker space, you use small electronic tools and you get out all those old telephones. Look at that thing, isn't that old? And you can take it apart and try to figure out how it works. So, I think we are ready now to hear the interview that I did with Michael Albert, an industrial engineer.
Have you on your show to talk about STEM careers, so it's a blessing.
Okay. I know a lot of young people don't know what kind of career to go into, and we're going to be talking about careers that are science related, and we really want to encourage young people to think about those kinds of careers because there's a lot of money available, a lot of scholarship money available for careers that are science related. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Michael. Where are you working right now?
Well, right now I'm working at a company called Prudential Overall Supply. It's more of an industrial laundry company, but it's a logistics and fleet management type of company, as in we service multiple customers on a daily basis, making sure that their products are getting to them, as in uniforms, mats, towels, hospital gowns or frocks and smocks. That's what we do on a daily basis.
Are those things made there?
Most of our clothing is not made there. It's like a warehouse. We store most of the clothing in the warehouse, and we have delivery drivers that pick most of their items and build it. We got people that build their loads. They pick the item from the loads that's built from the employees. So it's more of a storehouse. Yes.
Earlier you were telling me that industrial engineering has a number of components. It involves the running of a business as well as science. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so what people don't know for right now, that industrial engineering deals with the financials of different businesses. It deals with the project management of, you could say, a civil construction company. It deals with the multiple aspects of getting people on board and making sure that they work in a defined function. It also deals with continuous improvement too. So as in, we want to make sure that the industry is continuously growing on a constant basis, and they're getting the requirements for, I guess, their financials to grow, their business to grow, and the customers.
Okay. It sounds like a person would need a lot of education to do industrial engineering.
Well, I would say you get a 2-year degree or 4-year degree if you want, but industrial engineering, it's all about applying yourself. So you go to a regular college, as an HBCU, which is it's a historically black college. It's built for minorities, but we have also the other half that's at the college too. So it's not a tedious process, but anyone can do it if they apply themselves.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. When you were a young person in high school, did you know that you wanted to become an engineer?
I had no idea I wanted to become an engineer. I thought I was going to become a basketball player.
So often that happens to a lot of young men. They think that's the area to go in. When did you decide that you wanted to become an engineer?
Well, I decided probably in my 10th grade year, where I found out that math was more compelling to me, and that I like to see how things work. So it was more of the math, it was more of seeing how things work, and it was also being at my grandma's house. And most of the time at my grandma's house, we working outside. You know, if you're in the country, you're working outside. So one time we was taking out a house. I was like, I didn't know I was capable of taking out a house and seeing all the different parts. Then my uncle came over and helped us put the floor down. I was like, okay, this is nice too. We putting the floor down. What would this be? So I kind of looked into it a couple months later, you know, because you're still interested in basketball and track. And
Right.
the curriculums. So that's probably when I first started thinking about going into engineering.
Did you have a mentor, someone that kind of pulled you along into that field?
Yes, ma'am. I had a mentor in my physics class. I had a mentor in, you could say, when I was going to college, there was a young black guy, 38 years old. He kind of pointed out, like, you don't want to go into physical education because, I mean, that's abroad. Everybody's going into it. This is what you should do. You should go into a certain type of engineering, as in electrical engineering or manufacturing engineering. You should pick that out because they give you a lot of grant money for it. You'll be, you won't be competing or fighting with anybody else. And, I mean, it's so broad.
I heard you say something about grant money.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I know a lot of young people out there don't realize that there's money available for them if they choose a science career. So
You hit it right on the head.
Okay.
See, when people go to school for basketball scholarships, they have to play 4 years probably and get picked and scouted. When you go to engineering program, all you have to do is apply yourself. So they got grants out there like the Thurgood Marshall grant. They have grants out there for STEM careers. They got a website that's dedicated to STEM careers for young black, or young white, or young people that's looking to go to college. So as in, let's see if I can find out the NASA grant. NASA is looking for people in the computer science.
So that's that technology.
Yes.
It's STEM careers.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of money. I've been told there's a lot of money available for people who are interested in STEM careers. and you need to go out and get that money so that you can go to college. I want to see that happen to so many people. What I'm going to do is put some of this information on my website, and my website will be www.THERIPPYEFFECT.com, and I'll have that website that you were just mentioning. I'll put that information on the website.
I can send it to you.
Okay, I would appreciate that, and I'm sure some of my some of my audience would appreciate that also. It's very interesting, very good stuff.
It very is, and you make up to $100,000 if you.
Say that again. Say that
you
again.
Make up to $100,000 in grant money if you apply yourself.
That sounds good to me. Sounds really good. Did you have? You said you had your grandfather who was your grandmother
Yes.
was your role model.
Yes, growing up, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
She showed me the hard work and dedication that anybody could do anything that they put their mind to. So that kind of kept me focused, kept me on edge, and take away from the negative things that goes around when you're growing up.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Yes.
And to everyone out there who's watching, if you are interested in mathematics or any of the STEM careers, science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, there is money, there is scholarship money, there is grant money available, and you need to get some. We'll be right back.